Right now, the top three at 5. Major pushback against the federal court ruling on an abortion medication. What Connecticut lawmakers and doctors are now saying when it comes to restricting access. Plus, a Tallinn teacher arrested. What he's accused of doing with a former student, as police say the victim and suspect spoke out about what happened. And celebrating the national championship win for Quinnipiac's hockey team. A look at what the excitement could mean to QU future students as we gear up for a big rally.
Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And thanks for joining us right now at 5. We are not backing down. Those words from Connecticut's Attorney General on a Texas ruling to ban an FDA-approved abortion pill. Friday's ruling created a firestorm of pushback. Channel 3's chief political reporter Susan Raff has been following this story all day today. She's joining us live right now, first up in Hartford, with more tonight. Susan?
Mark, tonight, Attorney General William Tong, Governor Lamont, and other state leaders say mifepristone is safe. It was approved by the FDA more than 2 decades ago, and 5 million women use it across the country. Right now, it is legal, and they want to keep it that way.
Mifepristone and medication abortion is in Connecticut legal, safe, effective, and available, period, full stop.
A legal battle is being fought on a woman's right to have an abortion, even in states where it's legal. A conservative judge appointed by Trump made a ruling to ban an FDA-approved abortion pill.
What we saw on Friday was an egregious abuse of judicial power in the United States.
While the ruling is being appealed by the Biden administration, Attorney General Tong says it sets a dangerous precedent that the FDA can be overruled for political reasons. Approved in 2000, mifepristone has been taken by more than 5 million women. Doctors say it's safer than penicillin and even Viagra. Pharmacy chains like Walgreens and CVS are now being pressured not to sell mifepristone in states where abortions are illegal.
We've seen about a 30% increase in the number of people coming from out of state, and the average distance that people coming from out of state have had to travel to come to see us and receive their care has tripled.
As restrictions increase, attorneys general in 17 states, including Connecticut, have had some success. A federal ruling in Washington state bars the FDA from reducing access to abortion medication.
Lots remains to be sorted out. That'll take its time. But right now, if you're a patient that needs this type of care, seek it out.
Right now, this Texas ruling is on appeal and could wind up in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court. In the meantime, we did reach out to the Connecticut Conference or Catholic Conference today for a comment. They told us they did not have one on this. However, Senator Heather Summers, who is a Republican here in Connecticut, did have something to say, and she's one of several Republicans and Democrats who are pushing to have more access to birth control here in our state. She said it is frightening if a judge uses their own agenda to overrule the FDA and science. We are live tonight in Hartford. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Some more developing news we're following right now at 5 o'clock from Norwich, where firefighters responded to several brush fires today. Now, this is video right here from one area near Mohegan Park. The fire battalion chief telling Eyewitness News one of the fires started right near the dog pound, but it's unclear if the building was involved, the playground nearby, or any other buildings impacted. The entire state's currently under a fire weather watch due to dry conditions and wind that mean any fires that start may spread quickly and become hard to handle. Tonight at 5, we are learning some new details about a former Tallinn High School English teacher accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a student. Chris Coffey went before a judge today at Rockville Superior Court. Channel 3 Hartford Bureau Chief Aya Galal was in court for the hearing. She's joining us live right now with more on what she's learning about this investigation. Aya?
Mark, Chris Coffey is behind bars tonight on sexual assault charges, and this alleged relationship happened years ago, but details only came to fruition recently, and Coffey, we're told, confessed to investigators. This is the mugshot Connecticut State Police have released for 43-year-old Chris Coffey. Coffey taught English at Talent High School, but tonight he's under arrest, facing 3 sexual assault charges. The investigation stemmed from an anonymous tip to the Connecticut Department of Children and Families back in February of this year. According to state police, Coffey had an inappropriate relationship with a student back in the 2014 to 2015 school year. Through a redacted arrest warrant, we learned the victim did not have Coffey as a teacher, but was a student at Talent High School. She gave a written statement to police saying, "One day I was in Chris's room and he pulled his pants down and exposed his genitalia to me," adding, "I would go into his class and we would kiss on the lips." During the investigation, Coffey confessed to troopers. He wrote, "I knew victim number 1 was 17 years old at the time of these events." Once the investigation began in February of 2023, Coffey was placed on administrative leave and ultimately resigned from the district. In a letter to families, the superintendent of Talent Public Schools said the district was unaware of the incident at the time it was reported to have occurred and has cooperated immediately and fully from the moment it was informed of the investigation. And Chris Coffey remains behind bars tonight as he did not post his $150,000 bond. His next court date is May 12th. Reporting live in Vernon, Aya Galal, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Aya, thank you very much. Right now at 5, we have a man right here, a photo of a man facing charges accused of causing a disturbance at Bradley Airport over the weekend. Police say 39-year-old Michael Barnett from Wisconsin was at the D'Angelo sandwich shop on Saturday and got mad because they ran out of bread. An employee then called police saying Barnett was swearing and threatening her and even used a racial slur. Eyewitnesses helped police locate the suspect. He's now facing a number of charges, including intimidation based on bigotry or bias. Also new right now at 5, state environmental conservation police officers are investigating a deadly motorcycle crash that happened in Sterling. The Pinpoint News Tracker taking us here to eastern Connecticut, where this happened overnight between Saturday and Sunday on the Moosup Valley State Park Trail. A 21-year-old man from Greene, Rhode Island was pronounced dead at the scene. Police believe the driver struck a gate.
All right, the week is off to a beautiful start weather-wise across Connecticut. We'll take you right out to the Connecticut shoreline, our live iCam view there in Old Saybrook. Basically cloud-free today, border to border. Along the shoreline, a little bit cooler than inland areas, topping out in the 50s to near 60, low 60s as you head farther west along the shoreline. Meanwhile, mid and upper 60s across inland Connecticut, running about 10 degrees above average for this time of year. Litchfield right now at our network of neighborhood weather stations at 59, 60 coming in from Storrs and Woodbridge, East Hartford right now at 64. So you note those dew point values too in the 20s. Those numbers will be coming down even more so as we head through the middle part of the week. But this is an animation. There's not much happening here across southern New England. In fact, we have to expand the view, look down to Florida, find some rain elsewhere, the Pacific Northwest. High pressure basically in control for the foreseeable future, and temperatures will get progressively warmer. We've been detailing this trend since late last week. So check a futurecast as the clock moves forward in time. Tonight, clear skies. Tomorrow, we'll start off with some sun, and then as our Tuesday moves forward, we're going to see some scattered mid and high level clouds. Could dim or filter the sun at times, especially as we head towards sunset tomorrow. Temperatures for our Tuesday, instead of starting out in the 20s and 30s, 30s and 40s at 7 o'clock in the morning, we're close to 70 by lunchtime inland, reaching the low 70s across interior portions of the state, 60s though for the 95 quarter. So far in the month of April, 10 days in, we've hit the 70-degree mark at least once. We'll do so tomorrow, and we'll do so for many more days to come. Also want to point out, as Mark alluded to earlier in the broadcast, Norwich having some brush fires today. That fire weather watch is in effect statewide through tomorrow, thanks to wind gusts that could go as high as 30 miles an hour and low humidity. This will also be the case likely through Wednesday. So we'll have much more on this dry stretch and record warmth before the weekend in the early warning 7-day.
Mark, we'll see you again in a few minutes. Thank you. New right now at 5, a bald eagle is going to be okay thanks to a state police and a state police dispatcher. The rescue happened on 84 eastbound at the Vernon-Tolland line Saturday night. We have a look here at some body cam video as it happened here. The dispatcher also serves as a local animal control officer. She was able to get the eagle out of harm's way and into a box and move him away safely. The eagle is now getting the help it needs at the Horizon Wings Raptor Rehab in Ashford. A great job, of course, to the dispatcher. And thank you really to all the state's dispatchers, because this happens to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week.
Pass complete. Lipkin has a man in front. Shot, score!
And there you have it, the huge moment right there and a huge win for Quinnipiac University. The men's hockey team now national champions, 2 Connecticut college teams and 2 national champs in 1 week alone. Now the celebrating continues for the Bobcats as Quinnipiac gets set to celebrate its first ever national title. All that attention from this weekend's championship game could also mean a big win for the admissions department. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live right now from the campus right there where the party is going to be getting underway in the not too distant future, right, Matt?
You're late, Mark. They are already partying here in Hamden. In fact, team members actually just drove by this crowd not too long ago with the championship trophy, honking their horns. A large crowd, a cheer went up. You can see these folks. They've been out here for a couple of hours this afternoon. They're slowly getting their way into the M&T Bank Arena. Now, you know, current students, alums, they've got plenty to cheer about. But that national title, the national spotlight, can shift focus to future students who, thanks to that game over the weekend, well, they might be hearing about Quinnipiac, seeing Quinnipiac for the very first time.
Let's say you know someone coming in.
As tours of high schoolers and their parents cut across the Quinnipiac Quad, the Hamden campus is still on a high, thanks to its hockey team and a national title that's left Bobcats buzzing.
Just to remember the moment. School spirit. I wore my Quinnipiac shirt today on purpose.
Janet, Nicole, and Amanda, QU freshmen, stopped by the bookstore today looking to pick up some championship gear. We'll have to wait one more day for it to arrive. And while these students are filled with pride, a big win on national television can help get the Quinnipiac name out there with potential future students.
We do think that it should help us, especially nationally, that may not have heard of Quinnipiac as much.
Tom Ella is Quinnipiac's Chief Experience Officer.
For us, as we think about admissions, we think that being at a school that's very spirited, very involved, and for students to see this happening on the campus, I think will be a real allure for students to want to be at a place like this.
Home to 6,000 undergrads and 3,200 grad students, the Quinnipiac poll helped put the school and its name on the map. And now the hope is the hockey win can help expand the brand.
Certainly in the Northeast, we are well known. But as you think about some of the other areas that we're looking to continue to grow and bring students from, certainly Minnesota, California, Florida, I think we are very poised right now to be prepared for that great group of young people who want to go to a school that's so energized by something like this.
And energy students are already feeding off of.
I think it's really cool that we're freshmen. We got to see it the first year we were here.
And again, this celebration is going to start at 6 o'clock here at the Ice Arena. Organizers tell us once they fill up the seats there, any overflow, they'll move that over into the basketball arena where they'll be able to watch it on the big screen as well. We're live with the mobile newsroom in Hamden. Matt McFarland, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
All righty, well, it's going to be fun, more fun than it is already, Matt. Thank you very much. Now, as Matt just said, we have another live look for you right here at the rally celebrating the national champs. That will begin in less than an hour. It's happening there at the M&T Bank Arena. Doors are opening right now. Channel 3's Unqua Sonier is also there. We'll have much more on all this coming up when it happens. Now to some breaking news we're following for you right now at 5. New information about a deadly shooting at a bank in Louisville and the person police say was behind the attack. And if you haven't filed your taxes, the deadline is quickly approaching. We'll tell you what you need to know in these final days ahead. Plus, a lot of families have Tupperware in their kitchens, but is it going to be a thing of the past? Why these are tough times for this old company.
99.1 PLR.
Hey, it's Chaz and AJ. We are your local Connecticut morning show. Laughs, news, stuff happening in your neighborhood, and Channel 3 early warning weather.
Does it matter where you go to get gas or where you have your shirts dry cleaned? Thanks. Probably not. But when it comes to your health, where you go definitely matters. This is Yale New Haven Health, affiliated with the Yale School of Medicine, where some of the best physicians in the world choose to work, which matters when you or a loved one need access to the very best. Yale New Haven Health, with the greatest of care.
Hi, Bobby Crabtree with Crabtree Toyota, Straits Turnpike in Watertown. Now we have 2 convenient locations, same great experience with over 700 vehicles to choose from. At Crabtree Toyota, you don't just get a better deal, you get better dealerships.
You're building your business into something to be proud of. At Westfield Bank, our business banking insight works for you. Technology that makes business banking easy. Loans and lines, large and small, and expert advice from the regional community bank that's focused on your business. your financial security, and the communities we share. It's the perfect partnership. Westfield Bank, what better banking's all about.
The journey back from an injury, accident, or illness can be a long one. But when your independence is at stake, you need a resource you can rely on. A strong shoulder, a steady hand, a proven expert. Gaylord Specialty Healthcare is a rehabilitation system that's always here, always ready. Regardless of what's going on in the world, Gaylord will help you navigate your world every step of the way.
I like to scratch stuff, obviously. But unlike carpets and the occasional sofa, Connecticut Lottery scratch tickets have amazing prizes, fun games, and incredible odds. They're my favorite thing to dig these claws into. The possibilities are endless for what you can do with your winnings. Vacations, dinners, clothes, cat toys. I'd buy a scratching post and then just scratch the sofa instead. Possible is a scratch away with scratch tickets from the Connecticut Lottery.
Watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News with Aaron Connolly, Mark Zenny, and early morning weather with Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon. Now, Eyewitness News at 5 continues.
Police in Louisville, Kentucky say the quick response of police officers helped save lives during a workplace shooting this morning. A 23-year-old gunman killed 4 people at a bank and injured 9 more, including 2 officers. Channel 3's Christian Benavidez explains what happened.
Police descended on an Old National Bank branch in downtown Louisville to find a gunman still firing shots.
The suspect has been identified as Connor Sturgeon, white male, 23 years of age, who was employed at Old National Bank. His weapon of choice was a rifle.
Officers exchanged gunfire with the suspect, who died at the scene. Police named 4 victims who were killed inside.
Tommy Elliott, 63 years of age. Jim Tutt, 64 years of age. Josh Barrett, 40 years of age. And Juliana Farmer, 57.
Today, I'm hurt. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear fought back tears as he addressed the latest mass shooting.
We lost 4 children of God today, one of whom was one of my closest friends.
Caleb Goodlet's wife works inside the building.
I got a call from my wife panicking that she was locked in the vault, that there was an active shooter in the building.
She took shelter inside along with other terrified workers.
They had a phone inside the vault. She was able to reach me. I haven't heard about her coworkers yet or anything, but I have talked to her and seen her. She's fine.
Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg said his city has set up a family assistance center for anyone affected by Monday's event.
Whether you were physically hurt or not, I know that you're hurting too. We are here for you.
Authorities are asking the public for any information related to this latest shooting as they begin their investigation. Christian Benavidez, CBS News.
Also new tonight at 5, Ukrainians are expected to launch a spring offensive in the next few weeks. And there is some fear, though, now that some leaked documents could cause harm, revealing details about their forces to Russia, those documents from the Pentagon. But the season has also brought Holy Week celebrations in the country. Most Ukrainians are Orthodox Christians, so they won't celebrate Easter until next Sunday.
Easter time is when Christians celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. Does that have special meaning for Ukrainians now that you're in this war?
Jesus was resurrected, Father Serhiy told us, and Ukraine will be too.
Now, just yesterday, President Zelensky condemned Russia for carrying out a deadly attack on that country's Palm Sunday, killing a man and his 11-year-old daughter.
Now, Channel 3 early warning weather.
Well, recently temperatures have been getting progressively warmer, and that is a trend that will continue all the way through the end of the work week and eventually reaching summer-like levels that will challenge, if not break, records. So more on that in just a moment. Right now, here in the 5 o'clock hour on this Monday evening, we have temperatures still in the mid and upper 60s inland and from the mid-50s to low 60s along the 95 corridor. Dew point values are low in the teens and low 20s inland, 20s near 30 along the shoreline. These numbers could come down a little bit more as drier air moves in tomorrow on a west-northwesterly flow, and that wind tomorrow is going to be stronger than today. So that's why we've got that threat for if a fire were to start, it could rapidly spread and also be challenging to extinguish. So the concern for fire danger will persist, I should say, all the way through Wednesday before conditions improve just a bit later in the week. So right now from Hartford, we've got a lot of sunshine, 68 degrees in our capital city, blue sky over the Elm City of New Haven. Really a familiar scene all across the state today. 56 with our live eye cam view from New London. So coastal communities, the theme over the coming days will be to, slightly cooler than inland areas given the wind flow for the most part over the next several days. And region-wide, things are pretty quiet for the time being. In fact, high pressure, the big blue H, will dominate. We are tracking a disturbance up behind our banner moving through central Canada. That's going to stay to our north, but it will bring an increase in wind speed and as well a bit of some cloud cover later tomorrow into early Wednesday, but we're not expecting any rain. Our dry stretch will continue all the way into the upcoming weekend. We'll have more on our next chance for some rain in just a moment. So this evening temperatures remain in the 60s, but with the dry air that we have in place, a wind that will be diminishing and a mainly clear sky, temperatures drop quickly to the 50s into the 40s. Now, it's not going to be as chilly as last night. We're going to see temperatures bottom out between 35 and 40 and low 40s along the 95 corridor. And then tomorrow, we'll start off with plenty of sun. As the day progresses, we'll see some scattered high-level clouds kind of dim the sun as we head toward the evening commute time. Highs tomorrow likely reach or exceed 70 for many communities inland, held into the mid and upper 60s along the 95 corridor. Then for Wednesday, any morning clouds should give way to afternoon sun, and we're going to see temperatures climb to even higher levels. So tomorrow, 73, 77, and windy on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we're into the mid 80s, and then flirting inland with the 90-degree mark. Could be our first 90-degree day of the year. We'll keep you posted. Regardless, it's going to feel more like summer as opposed to the middle of April. Temperatures running nearly 30 degrees above average by the end of the week. For the upcoming weekend, still mild, warm on Saturday, just not as much as we're forecasting temperature-wise for Friday. And then on Sunday, we could see some late-day showers. There are certainly some timing differences this far out with a cold front that will bring an end to the dry and warm stretch. So it looks like perhaps a rising chance for rain later Sunday. Some of the showers could linger into Monday. For shoreline highs in the mid-70s by Wednesday and trending milder for Thursday into Friday. It is Thursday and Friday that record warmth is possible. Close, 86, the record right now for Hartford for the 13th of April from 1977, 74 for Bridgeport. The records that are most likely going to be even well surpassed for Friday the 14th. 82 and 73 respectively. So again, dry and fairly bright through the end of the week. That could change as we close out the upcoming weekend.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Still ahead right here tonight, Tesla is expanding production, the new facility that's set to come online and what they'll focus on producing. And if you haven't filed your taxes yet, well, the clock is running out. If you don't think you'll make the deadline, we've got your back tonight. What you need to know to buy yourself a little extra time. And a sunny and seasonable start to the week. Mark was just talking about it. A live look outside over Waterbury right there. Absolutely beautiful as we watch the temperature go up and up the next few days. Another look at that forecast when the News at 5 continues.
Don't get caught with your AC down. Save time and avoid costly repairs with Harp's Spring Clean and Inspection Tune-Up. Our expert techs will ensure you stay cool all summer. But act now before the rush. Call, scan, or visit us at harphomeservices.com.
Ill-fitting windows can make your energy bill hard to deal with. But Window Nation windows are designed to be energy efficient. I'm good. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, 0% interest for 60 months. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Want 3 reasons to come to the New England Air Museum? Take control of our state-of-the-art simulators and feel what it's like to fly some of the most iconic aircraft in history. Journey through time. And try on the spacesuit of the future with cutting-edge augmented reality. And shop unique gifts from retro to futuristic for visitors of all ages. Visit the New England Air Museum today.
Coyote is the only name you can trust to expertly clean and repair your Oriental rug. Every day your rugs get stepped on, walked all over, even used as doormats. They deserve a spa day too. If you've owned your rugs for more than 3 years, they're ready for a refreshing visit to Kaoud Oriental Rugs for a washing, repairing, or refringing.
Oriental rugs are pretty low maintenance, but like all of us, as they get older, they need a little care to maintain their ageless beauty.
For pickup and delivery, call 866-588-5200. That's 866-588-5200.
Appreciation sale. It's all about you. You'll find solid hardwood handcrafted furniture built to last a lifetime for every room in your home, and it's all on sale. Plus, visit our 16-acre display park for ideas and inspiration with special pricing on the finest sheds, garages, and more for your yard. Cloder Farms Customer Appreciation Sale. It's all about you.
Come to Cloder Farms.
Central Auto Sales in East Windsor, Connecticut has hundreds of cars under $15,000. But the best thing about Central Auto Sales is our custom financing. With over 98% of our customers getting approved, we design a plan with you right there in the office, looking at your future, not your past.
Hey, hope to see you soon here at Central Auto in East Windsor.
No hot water? No problem. Just call Harp Home Services. We're there same day with a brand new water heater and a professional fix for any other plumbing emergency. For all your plumbing needs, call, scan, or visit us at harphomeservices.com.
Right now in New at 5, some new research shows more than 12% of full-time employees are working from home, and another 28% have a hybrid schedule. And it turns out Connecticut ranks pretty high on a new list of the best states for working from home. The personal finance website Wallet Hub put the list together based on cybersecurity, internet costs, and home environments. And they actually found Connecticut comes in at number 4 best overall. Delaware is first. Utah was number 2, then Maryland came in at number 3. The study included all 50 states plus Washington, D.C. At the very bottom of that list, by the way, was Alaska. That came in at number 51. That iconic plastic storageware could soon be a thing of the past. You know what I'm talking about here, Tupperware. Well, the company said they're looking for some financing because they just don't have enough cash to fund everything, and they may have to go out of business. The company's also exploring potential layoffs and reviewing its real estate portfolio. Tupperware stock closed down nearly 50% today. The 77-year-old business has struggled to stay relevant and said they're having a hard time attracting younger customers. Also now at 5, Tesla is building a new factory in Shanghai, focused on manufacturing the company's energy storage product known as Megapack. Construction of the factory is expected to start later on this year, with production next year. It'll be Tesla's second factory in Shanghai.
Right, weather-wise, a beautiful evening certainly underway across Connecticut. Tomorrow, a few clouds will spread overhead, dimming the sun as we head toward the evening commute, but otherwise milder than today. Low 70s inland, mid and upper 60s at the shoreline. Then for Wednesday, we've got some clouds around for the morning, then some afternoon sun, warmer than tomorrow. And by Thursday, temperatures head into the mid-80s inland. Could come close to record warm for the Hartford area, could surpass record warm for Bridgeport. We'll have much more on that situation and when our dry stretch will perhaps end. That's ahead on Eyewitness News at 5:30.
All right, people, look alive.
You're not going to believe this.
You're kidding me.
We understand you have a missing colonel.
You have to get to the armory.
The armory at the base? Why?
What are they after? Colonel!
Your brother threw acid in American space. This is your last chance to help. You picked the wrong day to shoot at an FBI agent. Why does he need the guns, and what's he planning?
The FBI's are all new, all month long. Tuesday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Bingo, double, triple, homer.
If any Sox player hits for the cycle starting July 31st, it'll all be free.
You can do it.
Still can't drive after the accident? Did you call a lawyer? No, I can't afford one. You know, Carter Mario will speak with you for free. Free. It's free. Well, I'll call Carter Mario. It's free, you know.
Injured? Get Carter. Free.
remote, rescan and get set to relax with the Wax. Hit menu, then scan or auto-tune. Channel 27 is Connecticut's new home for food, four-wheel fun, and even more Eyewitness news. Learn more at WWAX.tv.
It's spring break at Bob's, and I'm introducing my biggest, bestest backyard collection ever. Soak up the sun in outdoor furniture that comes with comfort, quality, and, of course, my everyday low prices. You deserve a break. Spring break at Bob's.
When your home feels clean and happy,
the people inside feel clean and happy too.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK today and remove almost any item for just $69.
Let carefree small buildings make your backyard the outdoor entertaining oasis you dreamed of. Pool houses, gazebos, pergolas, pavilions, and more. Carefree builds, delivers, and services all the different styles of buildings they are well known for. Imagine that.
Built to last a lifetime. Carefree small buildings, imagine that.
Time of the year, especially to a termite. It's swarming season when these dreaded insects come out to play. If you suspect termites in your home, call Brayman today. Brayman in, bugs out.
It's spring break at Bob's Discount Furniture, and I've got fresh new dining furniture that will make you a hosting hero. My collection serve major style, come in dining and counter heights, and with my everyday low prices, complete sets start at just $5.99.
The big stories right now at 5:30. The deadline to file your taxes is quickly approaching. What you need to know if you haven't filed already, or maybe you need to get an extension. Plus, celebrating Quinnipiac's hockey team, another national championship win right here in Connecticut. We'll take you to the spot where the big party is already getting underway. Also, you may need some tissues, not to deal with a sad movie, but to deal with the seasonal allergies that are kicking in full force. We have some expert advice to help you manage those symptoms.
Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thanks for joining us right now. Well, like it or not, your taxes are due 1 week from tomorrow. And if you haven't filed yet, there are some ways to get some extra time. Consumer reporter Cassidy Williams is joining us here in the studio to explain what we all need to know. Cassidy?
Well, you have until next Tuesday to either file your taxes or file for an extension. Filing taxes is something we all do every year, but things are always changing.
If you haven't seen the signs, the tax deadline is fast approaching.
I feel like it's definitely stressing everybody out.
We ran into Vince Waite outside of the H&R Block in East Hartford, but he actually wasn't going inside. He's not planning to file his taxes just yet.
I recently filed for an extension, my second full-time year in real estate, so I'm a 1099 employee. So I'm going to owe a little bit more this year, so I'm going to take my time until I get a few more deals closed and then put that aside to pay my taxes.
Filing for an extension makes your new deadline October 16th, but CPA David Luzzy says it isn't quite that simple.
It's an extension of time to file, but not time to pay, so that you have to pay in what you think you're going to owe.
Luzzy is a partner at Slating Company. He says there are a number of things different from last year. For example, you can no longer deduct charitable contributions on top of the standard deduction. And if you want to help keep your identity safe, it's now easier to get an identity protection PIN on the IRS website.
It verifies your identity with the IRS. If somebody else files or tries to file in your place, it's not going to go through.
It's a deadline that is certain, but the stress doesn't have to be.
I feel like everyone gets stressed about it, but it's like it's one thing at a time.
Scammers can also try and take advantage of last-minute filers. Better Business Bureau says it's best to review any tax preparer's credentials and reviews before handing over your tax information. Cassidy Williams, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Cassidy, thank you very much. Good information, but taxes aren't always a lot of fun, so let's have a little fun right now at 5:30. Celebrating the Quinnipiac men's hockey team. The team joins UConn's basketball team now as national championship winners, and a big rally will start in about a half hour now. Channel 3's Unkwa Sonye is joining us right now. He is in Hamden, where I understand folks have been lining up for quite some time, Unkwa.
Mark, they've been lining up really for the last 3 hours, and now the doors are open. They're starting to file in, and it's just the perfect way to cap a journey that was decades in the making. You got to go back to 1998, the first year that Quinnipiac went from a Division II program to a Division I program. Since then, they've taken an ascent to the top of the college hockey mountain. They've gone to 3 Frozen Fours in the past 10 seasons, and now come away with the first national title. It's been a whirlwind 48 hours for the team. They came back to Hamden yesterday, and now they'll have an opportunity to be welcomed by fans, their family, and of course, their greater QU community. We'll be back later on in the news at 5 and 6 for more as we get set to welcome home the champs. Live from M&T Bank Arena in Hamden, Unkwasonia, Channel 3, Eyewitness Sports.
The week off to a very mild start, but it's going to get downright warm before the weekend as temperatures head to summer-like levels. Today, mid and upper 60s for many communities inland, 50s and low 60s along the 95 corridor. For the 14th of April, that's when our average high goes to 60 degrees for the Hartford area. By May 8th, it goes to 70. Before the week is over, we could flirt with the 90-degree mark across inland portions of the state. But in the meantime, our dry stretch also will be continuing. Hard-pressed to find any sort of cloud cover here across southern New England, the Northeast, or even across a good part of the country on this Monday. Some rain, some clouds down across the Florida Peninsula. Elsewhere, some through the plains, a few showers, but nothing that is going to be moving in our direction anytime soon. So we do have mainly clear sky tonight and throughout the day tomorrow for our Tuesday. We'll start off with some sun. A disturbance passes by across Canada, well to our north, spreading some clouds, perhaps dimming the sun a bit as we head toward the evening commute time for tomorrow evening. But otherwise, temperatures will be trending milder. Instead of starting off in the 20s and 30s, we'll start off in the 30s and low 40s inland early in the day, 40s at the shoreline, and by lunchtime, well into the 60s we go. Inland will pop in the low 70s by 5 p.m. and reach the mid and upper 60s along the 95 corridor. So again, for the month of April, only one day so far, 70 or higher. We're going to be adding to that total big time over the coming days, and our fire weather watch remains in effect statewide. This is through tomorrow, likely even more so into Wednesday, given the low humidity and the wind that's going to be stronger tomorrow compared to today out of the west and northwest, gusting as high as 30 miles an hour. That means if a fire were to spread, if it were to start, I should say, would quickly spread. Also be tough to extinguish. So we'll have much more on the temperature trend that peaks later this week and when we may see some rain in the early warning 7-day.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes, Mark. Thank you. New right now at 5:30, a very special honor for Hartford students planning to go to college. Today, Mayor Luke Bronin joined with Hartford Promise and Hartford Public Schools to celebrate the program's 1,000th Hartford Promise Scholar. This was the scene earlier today at Weaver High School. Now, Hartford Promise has offered scholarships of up to $20,000 to Hartford residents. We spoke with a student who benefited from the program about what it meant to him.
Without the Hartford Promise Scholarship, I wouldn't be able to financially afford the college that I'm at right now. And I really enjoy being at Southern Connecticut, and I couldn't imagine being at any other college. So it had a big impact on me.
Now, to qualify, students have to have good attendance and at least a 3.0 GPA. COVID-19 and pregnancy. What new research finds about the struggles women are still facing. Also ahead tonight, spring allergies, a good reason to pack your tissues and allergy meds this week. And we continue to celebrate the Quinnipiac Bobcats. We'll be live again at 6 as a rally gets underway in Hamden.
As dawn breaks, you can feel it in the air. The energy of a new day. You're ready to hit the streets, the gym, the books.
The right start is everything.
Thanks for waking up with us.
It's why Connecticut wakes up with Eyewitness News this morning.
Let's take you through the day.
No major crashes. Exclusive this morning.
When you find your love and you know it's gonna be a good day. So it's time. Start your morning right. Start your morning right.
Eyewitness News this morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7.
Transit is a trip.
solution that checks all the boxes. It's all here with the Comcast Business Complete Connectivity Solution. Peace of mind with cyber threat security. The power of the largest, fastest, reliable network. Plus, save up to 75% a year with Comcast Business Mobile, the complete connectivity solution from the company powered by the next generation 10G network. Get started for just $49 a month and ask about an $800 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Hey folks, Mother's Day is a very special time of year here at Express Kitchens. Once again, one mother will win a $16,000 kitchen absolutely free. She will receive beautiful plywood cabinets, granite countertops, sink, faucet, handles, and all installed by Express Kitchens. Simply upload your video and tell us why she deserves this honor.
Happy Mother's Day from Express Kitchens.
Express Kitchens.
Growing, growing, growing.
Of course, the GMC Terrain offers all-wheel drive mode. What about Supernova mode or Weekend Warrior mode? You don't see that everyday mode. How about out of the office mode? Or even, are you out of your mind? Mode. Want a mode for everything? GMC Terrain. Step up to GMC with 1.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days on GMC Terrain models.
A celebration of life, love, laughter, and Fiddler on the Roof.
Coming to Waterbury's Palace Theater. For tickets, visit palacetheaterct.org.
You're watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News with Aaron Connolly, Mark Zenny, and early morning weather with Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon. Now, Eyewitness News at 5:30 continues.
In New Jersey tonight, the faculty and staff at Rutgers University is on strike tonight after contract talks broke down over the weekend. Now, this is affecting nearly 70,000 students at 3 campuses. Unions representing teachers, researchers, and others want raises, job security for adjunct instructors, and funding for grad students. Now, the strike comes with just 3 weeks left in the school year. The university is advising students to keep doing their coursework, and for seniors, this, as you can imagine, is adding some extra stress.
I need to get these grades in and I need to do well, so I'm a little nervous, but I think I have the resources to complete that assignment.
Now, Rutgers president is calling the whole thing deeply disappointing. Negotiations moved to New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy's office today. Both sides are optimistic that they can get a deal done this week. This is the first job action of its kind at Rutgers in their more than 250-year history. Meanwhile, in Hawaii, swimmers and surfers still on high alert for sharks. An 8-foot tiger shark bit a 58-year-old man surfing on Easter Sunday morning. It happened just after sunrise in Oahu. Nearby surfers were able to make a tourniquet to help stop the bleeding, but the man was then taken to the hospital with serious injuries to his leg.
You know, very fortunate for this individual too. The guys that he was surfing with, able to use that leash as a tourniquet, definitely saved his life.
Pretty incredible. Now, the Ocean Safety and Lifeguard Services Department there nearby said the shark then returned to the area and was acting aggressively again.
Now, Channel 3 early warning weather.
Well, what a beautiful start to the work week.
Right? Not a bad weekend.
No, not at all.
Trending in the upward direction.
Yeah.
So, little point of comparison. How long do you think it's been since we've seen temps in the 80s or even near 90?
Well, near 90, I would think maybe last August.
Oh, well, that's you're pretty good.
Was that a good guess?
Yeah, you didn't see this beforehand.
Oh.
So, yeah, our most recent 80-degree day for the Hartford area was back on October 7th. 85, that was September 18th. So that's like nearly 7 months ago. And then, yeah, August 30th was our last 90-degree day. And we've got this graphic because we are forecasting temperatures that warm, say Thursday.
So
and Friday.
close. Look at Friday.
Yeah, it could be a close, yeah, for sure. So we'll fine-tune the forecast as we get closer, but regardless, it's going to feel like summer here in Connecticut. So if you're off for April break and did not have any travel plans to leave the state, well, you know, you're really in luck because we've got a beautiful stretch of weather. So as we head into the upcoming weekend, Saturday we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Still going to be mild, just not as warm as Thursday and Friday. We may see some rain by later Sunday into Monday of next week with a cold front that basically brings us back to reality. So we've got this ridge of high pressure that's building in as we head through the next several days and looking for temperatures to peak Thursday into Friday, and then conditions will trend again relatively cooler as we head into the upcoming coming weekend. So that ridge, a big area of high pressure, is going to translate to a lot of sunshine as well, helping to boost those temperatures with a southwesterly flow up into the summer-like levels that we're forecasting Thursday into Friday. So our iCam view from Torrington showing a lot of clear sky right now, really a common theme across our state with our network of iCams looking from Middletown over Route 9 and the Connecticut River. Absolutely beautiful. Wherever your evening plans may take you, if you're going for a walk, a jog around your neighborhood, perhaps a little bit of a bike ride, the weather cooperates, but temperatures will be dropping quickly after sunset thanks to the dry air and the wind that's going to be diminishing. So we've got temperatures still well into the 60s inland, 50s to near 60, low 60s along the 95 corridor. And winds are fairly variable at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So high pressure going to keep things basically quiet for the foreseeable future. We've got a little disturbance that's going to pass well to our north later tomorrow into early Wednesday, and that will spread some clouds in our direction. So overnight tonight, mainly clear. Tomorrow we'll start off with some sun through the afternoon toward the evening commute time. Some of those mid and high level clouds could dim or filter the sun a bit before it sets. Highs tomorrow in the low 70s. We go inland, mid and upper 60s along the 95 corridor. And then for our Wednesday, morning clouds give way to afternoon sunshine, and by then temperatures head well into the 70s for many communities across the state, even along the shoreline based on the wind direction. So as we make our way past Wednesday, that's when temperatures, especially inland, head into the 80s, where record warmth is a possibility, especially, I should say, for coastal communities. For Bridgeport on Thursday, a better chance for Hartford and Bridgeport as we close out the week on Friday.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much. Well, as Mark was just talking about, it's going to be warm, and that means you're going to want the sunglasses for the week ahead, but you may also need tissues, maybe some allergy medicine, because we are in the thick of it now. Meteorologist Lauren Richardson has some details on the allergy season we're dealing with, and also some tips from an expert. Hi there, Lauren.
Yeah, hi, Mark. And yes, so many do suffer from allergies this time of year, including myself. So I met with Dr. Ahn, who told me about 30% of people just overall suffer from tree pollen and allergies, and also some remedies that you can do to help.
It's because I have a cough.
And it's due to allergies?
Yeah.
Olivia Degman is 5 years old, and it's been a tough spring for her allergies so far.
As the weather gets nice and the pollen does fall, we tend to cough a lot, sneeze a lot, and things like that. So we just want to make sure that she's okay and have everything that she needs.
So Olivia and her dad came to Dr. Wei An, allergist at Connecticut Allergy and Asthma Center in Hampden.
This is typically when trees start to pollinate, and the allergen is actually in the pollen grain. This is a time when they kind of travel hundreds of miles.
Dr. Ahn says allergies get worse every year.
Each year, they'll notice, hey, my eye's more swollen shut, it's more red, it's more itchy, it's more congested. Now I can't have my windows open at all.
And it can get pretty serious.
A lot of kids actually have to miss schools because the eye symptom, usually probably the most severe complaint. People have to wear goggles to block out the pollens. Their eyes are so puffy and swollen and red. They can't see when they wake up in the morning. So it really can affect someone's work in school.
You can take an over-the-counter allergy medication, nasal spray, and other measures.
Also, changing clothes as soon as you get home. Wash your hair actually as you get home. Actually, hair is actually a big pollen collector. So a lot of times, people who are severe, they'll wash off their hair when they get inside the house to wash off the pollen. So that makes a big difference as well.
It's all about keeping allergies at bay while enjoying this beautiful weather.
We're looking forward to getting outside and playing outside and doing a lot more things like that.
All right, taking a look at the next couple of days, you can see once again that tree pollen, alder, maple, cedar, juniper trees are in bloom. And Dr. Ahn says tree pollen doesn't completely wind down until actually mid-June. And then during the summertime, we have grass pollen, and then in the fall, ragweed pollen. So, of course, we'll be keeping you posted here on WFSB. But live in Rocky Hill this evening, I'm Lauren Richardson, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Time right now for today's women's health headlines, starting with the health and well-being of women and their babies. This week is Black Maternal Health Week, and today in New Haven, Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysowitz, along with Mayor Justin Elicker, discussed the week-long collaboration. The goal here is to strengthen the focus on infant and maternal health by working with businesses and organizations statewide. Statistics show Black women in America are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women. When it comes to COVID-19 and pregnancy, more evidence suggests pregnant women who who are infected with COVID during delivery are at a greater risk for complications and even death. Researchers at the University of Southern California tracked national data from early on in the pandemic. It found pregnant patients with COVID at delivery were more likely to experience severe respiratory complications. Well, it looks like exposure to air pollution may increase a person's risk of developing dementia. That's according to a new analysis of dozens of studies from Harvard. Researchers say these results can be used by organizations like the EPA, which is currently considering stronger limits on exposure to fine particulate air pollutants. Still ahead tonight, changing how food is made, why some very popular candies and snacks are under the microscope in the name of safety. And another live look outside for you on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on Eyewitness News at 5 if you're watching on Channel 3 or on WFSB+.
All right, people, look alive.
You're not going to believe this.
You're kidding me.
We understand you have a missing colonel.
You have to get to the armory.
The armory at the base? Why?
What are they after? Colonel!
Your brother threw acid in American space. This is your last chance to help.
You picked the wrong day to shoot at an FBI agent.
Why does he need the guns, and what's he planning?
The FBI's are all new, all month long. Tuesday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Receive a $7,500 EV lease bonus on a new Volvo electric vehicle.
You know, regular folks like us also need an estate plan. It saves a lot of confusion for your family. Get your wishes legally documented. Start your estate plan now with Zepega Daily Pope and Perry.
Auto and home coverage that'll never let you down. Insurance.
Children's Superhero Sunday in partnership with Ball for a Cure.
Join us in Bushnell Park for the 5K walk and run, superhero surprises, music, food, and more.
Register at ConnecticutChildren'sFoundation.org.
It's spring and the perfect time to transform your garage floor from this to this in just one day. DeStefano Brothers Concrete Coatings turns grimy, stained floors into beautiful, durable surfaces. Our coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, perfect for garages, basements, and patios.
We feel like this is an extension of the house now.
DeStefano Brothers has completed over 1,000 floors and has over 200 5-star reviews.
You should do it. It's just stunning.
Call DeStefano Brothers today. Our spring schedule books up fast.
This is how legends are made. Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or current Chevy owners get $3,750 total cash allowance on all 2023 Silverado pickups with a turbo high open engine. Visit your Connecticut Chevy dealer.
Well, if you're a fan of the show, or maybe you like being watched 24/7, well, Big Brother wants you. Join Channel 3 at Mohegan Sun for a Big Brother open casting call. It's coming up this Thursday, April 13th, from 2 until 6, right there in the main area of Mohegan. You can't miss it. Go to mohegansun.com or WFSB.com to learn a lot more about that. Well, if you missed some huge breaking news in the entertainment world over the weekend, here it is for you. Superstar Taylor Swift and her longtime boyfriend, actor Joe Alwyn, have called it quits. A source close to Taylor confirmed the news, saying, quote, Taylor and Joe broke up a few weeks ago. They simply grew apart and plan to remain friends. The two were first linked romantically back in 2016. He even appeared as a guest on several of her tracks during the pandemic, including playing the piano on the Grammy-winning album Folklore. The Super Mario Brothers movie had a mega opening. The movie grossed more than $200 million at the box office here in the U.S. and about $377 million worldwide this weekend alone. Now that shatters the previous worldwide record for any animated film opening, which was held by Frozen 2, which made over $350 million during its opening. The film, which is based on the popular Nintendo game, also had the biggest global box office opening so far this year.
All right, weather-wise, early warning pinpoint Doppler. Showing you this because it's going to be void of any sort of precip for many days to come. May not be until late into the upcoming weekend that we see our next chance for some wet weather with a cold front. Before then, we are outlining the potential, the likelihood for records to be challenged or even tied or broken as we head through the later part of this week. So 86 is the record high for Hartford on Thursday, 82 on Friday. That one will, based on our current forecast, be well surpassed, and we could as well get well past these numbers for Bridgeport, 74 for Thursday and 73 for Friday. So we'll have much more on the summer-like warmth as temperatures eventually later this week trend 30 degrees above average, and more on that rain chance for the upcoming weekend ahead on Eyewitness News at 6.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. New right now at 5:30, some popular candies and snacks being put under the microscope because of red dye number 3, which could be dangerous for us. In fact, the food additive has been banned for years in Europe. Here's Channel 3's Danya Backus.
Hendrix, do you want strawberries?
Ashley and Jermaine Rawlings are careful about what they feed their 2 young children. They read food labels closely.
I'm vetoing every product that comes in here just because I'm always curious, like, what's in this product.
If you can't pronounce the name, you probably shouldn't be eating it.
California could become the first state in the nation to ban the sale, manufacture, or distribution of foods containing 5 chemicals linked to cancer risk, reproductive harm, and behavioral issues in children.
These are the worst of the worst.
Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel is a sponsor of AB 418, which would prohibit the use of red dye number 3, titanium dioxide used in many candies, potassium bromate used in some breads, bromated vegetable oil, and propylparaben.
When I learned that 99% of these chemicals are not being independently reviewed by the FDA, that was my aha moment.
Dana Hunez is a senior clinical dietitian at UCLA and says the number of additives in our food supply is concerning.
The more we consume of a certain product, the more likely it is that we're going to have some of these negative effects in our body.
Thousands of chemicals are added to processed foods to provide freshness, taste, and color. Red dye number 3 has already been banned in cosmetics in the U.S. The food industry is pushing back. Nearly a dozen associations responded, saying the federal government has a comprehensive food safety process, and the 5 chemicals have been thoroughly reviewed and continue to be deemed safe.
Did you eat the first one?
For the Rawlings family,
it's crazy that I have to look at every single product to even see what's going into my child's body, what's going into my body.
They hope products with less additives adds up to better health. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Eyewitness News at 6 is just minutes away. Here's a look at what we're working on right now. Celebrating Quinnipiac, a huge rally for the national championship winning hockey team is about to begin. We will take you live to Hamden. Plus, reckless drivers taking over the roads in 2 communities, how leaders are taking on dangerous street racing, and the owners of a popular food truck in Colchester scrambling right now to figure out their next steps after their donut trailer was stolen and trashed. All that and much more coming up next when you join us for Eyewitness News at 6.
Rafi, do you know what a cycle is?
Single, double, triple, home, one player, one game.
Right. If any Sox player hits for the cycle starting